Today we are uncovering the truth behind Silicon Wars 2026, how smuggled chips power Iran's low-tech swarms. In the current geopolitical theater of 2026, the traditional definitions of military superiority have been incinerated by a simple, terrifying mathematical reality. For decades, the West operated under the assumption that high-tech monopolies, the ability to design and manufacture the world's most complex 2 nanometers and 3 nanometers processors, would provide an unassailable shield against any adversary. We believed that by controlling the frontier of compute, we controlled the outcome of any potential wars. However, as the conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran escalates, we are witnessing the emergence of a silicon asymmetry that the Pentagon didn't fully prepare for. The why behind the power in this conflict isn't found in the million-dollar processors sitting in Virginia data centers, it is found in the $10 microcontrollers that power your microwave, now repurposed to guide a Shahed drone into a multi-million-dollar radar array. This is the ultimate trap. While the US and its allies built a high fence around their most advanced IP, they left the back door wide open to the foundational silicon that actually runs the world's most effective attrition weapons. Iran hasn't tried to compete with Western monopolies in high-end AI, instead, they have leveraged the global ubiquity of legacy chips to create a swarm intelligence that is physically exhausting the West's sophisticated defense stockpiles. This shift represents the transition from quality over quantity to quantity as a quality of its own, fueled entirely by a shadow supply chain that operates faster than any sanctions regime can track. The reason you clicked on Silicon Wars 2026, how smuggled chips power Iran's low-tech swarms, is because you've seen the footage of $4 million Patriot missiles chasing $4,000 drones, and you realize the math is broken. This segment explores the why behind the power of cost asymmetry. It is a strategic war of attrition where the goal isn't to destroy the enemy's army in a single blow, but to bankrupt their military-industrial complex one interceptor at a time. Iran's strategy relies on the fact that the West is caught in a sophistication trap. We build weapons so advanced and so expensive that we cannot afford to use them against the very threats they were designed to stop. When a swarm of 50 drones, each costing less than a used car, flies toward a carrier strike group, the defensive response costs more than the ship they are protecting is worth in long-term strategic value. This is where the China-rice factor becomes the deciding variable. While the US focused on the rise of high-end tech, China focused on the rise, the foundational, low-end, 28 nm, and above chips that act as the basic sustenance of the modern world. By dominating the production of these staple chips, China has created a global environment where Iran can source the brains for its drones from literally any consumer electronics market in the world. You cannot sanction a chip that is in every toaster, car, and toy on the planet. This is the monopoly of the mundane, and it is currently defeating the monopoly of the elite. Iran has turned our own commercial success into a strategic vulnerability, proving that in 2026, the most dangerous weapon is the one you can buy at a local electronics wholesaler. To truly understand the wars of 2026, we must follow the silicon through the gray zones of global trade. The reason Iran can maintain its swarm production despite maximum pressure sanctions is due to a masterful manipulation of globalized logistics, a system we call the Silicon Sieve. The process begins not in Tehran, but in the gleaming office towers of Dubai, Singapore, and Istanbul. Shell companies, often appearing as legitimate distributors of medical equipment or telecommunications hardware, place bulk orders for Western-designed chips. These chips are often older generations, which are no longer subject to the same rigorous end-user verification as the latest AI GPUs. Once these chips enter the global trade stream, they are diverted through a series of cut-out hubs. A shipment of microcontrollers might leave a warehouse in Malaysia destined for a smart farm project in Central Asia, only to disappear across the border into Iran. This is the why behind their power. Iran doesn't need to build a multi-billion-dollar fab, they simply need to be the best at high-stakes, digital smuggling. They have turned the global semiconductor market into a giant vending machine where the currency is obfuscation. This is where the trap closes on Western regulators. If they tighten the rules on these low-end chips, they crash the global automotive and appliance industries, the very industries that the Western economy relies on for stability. The West is effectively subsidizing its own enemy's weapons program because it is too dependent on the rice chips produced in the East. It is a perfect monopoly of circumstances where the target, the West, provides the components for the bullet that is aimed at its own heart. The current conflict has turned Israel into a laboratory for the first true silicon war. Israel, a global hub for semiconductor R&D, represents the peak of Western monopolies in chip design. However, this has created a geographical trap. The very fabs and R&D centers that design the world's most advanced AI and security chips are within range of Iran's low-tech swarms. This creates a paradox. The most advanced silicon on Earth is being threatened by the most basic silicon on Earth. The why behind the power in the Israel-Iran sector is the realization that kinetic AI that lives on the edge in a drone, doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be autonomous enough to overwhelm a human operator. Iran has integrated basic AI computer vision into these drones, using smuggled Western components to allow them to see and home in on targets even when GPS is jammed. This effectively nullifies the West's electronic warfare advantage. We are seeing a war where the China rice factor provides the sheer volume of hardware, while Iranian ingenuity provides the lethal application. This isn't just a regional spat, it is the blueprint for all future conflicts. If a regional power can use $10 chips to neutralize a billion-dollar stealth fighter or a monopoly tier missile battery, then the entire structure of global power has shifted. The siege is no longer at the gates, the siege is inside the silicon itself, where the very tools of our civilization have been turned into the instruments of our containment. As we look toward the horizon of late 2026, the silicon siege is entering its most volatile phase. The US is attempting to break the trap by reshoring foundational chip production, but they are decades behind the China rice factor. The reality is that the wars of the future will be won by whoever can sustain the longest silicon attrition. If the West continues to rely on its monopolies of high-end, expensive hardware, it will find itself outproduced and outmaneuvered by adversaries who embrace the rice philosophy. We are moving toward a world of bifurcated silicon, where one side controls the cloud, the high-end AI, and the other side controls the edge, the mass-produced swarms. The question for 2027 and beyond is whether the West can develop low-cost intercept technology, like high-energy lasers, fast enough to reset the mathematical balance. Until then, the why behind the power remains firmly in the hands of those who can weaponize the mundane. Every drone that hits a target is a testament to the failure of Western export controls and the success of the shadow silicon economy. The siege is expanding, and the next victim might not be a military base, but the very global supply chain that we once thought was our greatest strength. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the Helium Trap, the silent killer of the chip industry that no one is talking about, but which could end the silicon wars in a single afternoon. If you want to understand how a single gas shortage could collapse the China rice strategy and the Western monopolies simultaneously, you cannot miss our next investigation.